In this video, we are going to use our knowledge to count the lines of some given text. So first, after the last video, this one should be very easy. So I would ask you to stop the video now and try this one by yourself and look how far you come. Maybe you can also try to use the internet, try to find your own solution. Don't use a full solution on the internet because you have that video for that. If you really can't achieve anything, just play that video. The second thing is, now we come to the point where we can actually make use of our knowledge to write some programs like that one. And this is very important. So from now on, I will have this kind of video from now and then, so you can try to get to your own solution somehow and practice your skills in this way. So first I will start to create a program very similar to that one that we have created in lesson 6. Back then we had a while loop and we assigned the value of getChar to a variable c, and we checked if that one is not equal to end of file, and inside of here we want to count the lines just like we did in the last lesson. So I have a variable lines and I just increment it here, which is, if you remember, just a shorthand syntax for this one. I mean the double plus. And that's it. I can, if the user sent the end of file, I want to let him know how many lines we received. Lines received. Oh. Okay. That's basically it. But we are missing the most important part, because now our program is very similar to the program from lesson 6. We are just counting every character in here, and we don't want to do that. We want to count every new line, and that means we need a condition. So I will wrap this one inside of a condition because I just want to increment the lines count whenever I see a new line appears. So our condition is, if the C that we received is a new line, we want to increment the line count. So let's just run that program and check if it's working. Okay, we have our old program style now, waiting for user input. I will just make this easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm expecting the result 5 here, and yes, I get the result 5. There is just one thing to note about this program. It's the initial value of 0, which is maybe a little bit confusing because we never have 0 lines actually. But if you think about this, we had a problem with our first program in lesson 6. We had no, it was in lesson 7, I'm sorry. With our last program in lesson 7, we had a problem, and that is we counted every character, and it was always one character too much because it counted the last new line here. So we need to set this counter to 0 because the last line will also be counted, and we just see this as one line, this is another line, this is a line, this is a line, and this one. So we have 5 lines. We don't want to have 6 lines actually. If we send a text file, we can set that one to 1 if the end of file doesn't make a new line by itself. Okay, that one is pretty easy to understand because you can test that very well. One more thing about the while loop here, we can omit all of the curlies. So this one would also be a valid program and it would run. Now I want to show the same program with the for loop, as you might have chosen that one. It's basically the same. I will remove the initial value here because I will assign it to here. I told you why I do this, or why I prefer to do the initialization of the value inside of the for loop in the last video. And we have the condition here. I will just copy this because remember, the while loop is just a special for loop and we can really just copy the condition out of here. And I don't want to increment the lines. Maybe you did that. It is also possible. I will show a way to do that. But for now, I don't want to do that. That is what I told you in the last video, bad solution, good solution. This solution I think is a good one because I just count one time. It's okay. We will check our program first. I will use the curlies. It would also, the for loop also would work without any curlies. So okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have lines received 6, and that is true. Okay, this one is working, and now I want to show you, because this is very similar to the while loop, I will remove all the curlies and I will count here. If I count here, I have a little problem because now I count every character again, and this is not what I want to do. So I need to tell the program, if you see any character that is not a new line, please count back, count the lines back. This is not a good solution, and I will tell you why. It is working. It's a valid solution, not a very good one. As you can see, this is working just fine. The problem is I'm counting 2 times now. I'm counting down for every character that is not a new line, and I count up again. I always count up, no matter what. And I count down for every character that's not a new line, so that's not very good code. Because now I'm just counting up whenever I see a new line. That is more efficient, and you should always try to work a little bit efficient even when you just started to learn, or maybe especially when you started to learn. About the curlies, let me tell you this. You should set them because many people will hate you if you don't do that. I personally like both. Set the curlies or don't set the curlies. I have a rule. I always omit the curlies whenever I can still maintain code readability. So I think this one is less readable than this one, and it's just as valid, because if you have more curlies than you have actual code, it will disturb you a little, I think. So I think it's a good it's a good thing to remove the curlies if you don't need them, and if you are willing to indent your code like I did, so you can maintain the readability. If of course you have a code like this, maybe, where you don't know what belongs to where, this is bad. You have to set the curlies. But if you have nice indented code, you should omit the curlies whenever possible. That's just my opinion. Whenever you are working with a team, ask the other people about their opinion and you are fine. Okay, that's all about this video. In the next video we will do a little bit more complicated stuff. We will count words. See you then.